In this video, we're going to be starting kind of adding functionality to the hosting of the server. And what I mean by that is actually adding in some like custom server names. So if I look down to host settings, we have the server name, then this editable text box that contains my server. Currently, whenever we host a server, the name that gets put into the database is test server name. So we're going to create a function to kind of take all of the information from our widgets and pass them into our database. So let's begin. I'm going to go ahead and create a blueprint callable function. I'm going to do it under lobby info. It's going to be void set server data. And it's going to take in a couple parameters. So let's look at our lobby real quick. Or wrong one. So we have server name, map name, and players. So we're going to need the server name, map name, current, and max players. So that's a const f string server name. It's going to be two f strings and two integers. So server name, map name, current, and max players. Let's create the definition. And I want to move it right below our initial lobby handling function. And I want to take what's in our initial lobby handling function, everything that passes it to our web API, and move it to our set server data function. Then we can change things like the server name to server name, map name, then current, and max players, just like so. So that is, we need a way to access the current amount of players. So let's create another blueprint callable function. Going to be int get current player count. And what it's going to return is in our structure. So in our lobby info, we have a function or a array called player list that contains the list of player names. What we're going to do is simply return the size of it. So we're going to return lobby info dot player list dot num to get the size of the array. And then we compile. Now I'm going to restart the editor. All right. Launch the editor. And open back our widget. Now in the graph, we look in our event, we have our host game. So when we click host game, we create our host beacon. So let's go to our create host beacon function. And here we create it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get our host beacon and set our info right after that. So let's move this far out. We're going to do set server data. So we have that. Now we need to get current player count. So let's pass current players into current player count. We need the server name So the server name is that widget, that text box, so ETB host server name. Let's get that. Let's get text. Then we have map name. So that's in our info, host current map. I'll break it and get the map name from there. And that is all for now. We don't have any sort of indication for max players. So yeah, let's give it a test. So this is currently called my server. Just change it to custom server name. I need to expand the size of that so it fits right. We currently have no servers, so let's test it. We should see custom server name in there. So host, refresh. Here we have custom server name. And the map name's null. So let's see. Map name. And I believe we're setting it, which we are. So let's see here. Find references. Go to where we set it. Here we set host current map. So it's because we are setting the current map after everything is dealt with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what we just created and move it to the very end after everything's actually set up properly. All right. Break that link. Let's get the host beacon. Pass it in to the functions. And call our return node. Okay, now everything should be set up. So let's give it a try. Server didn't shut down properly. Just gonna delete it. It's because we're force closing the game. That's why we need that heartbeat. Right, so we host and refresh. It's none trying to read host beacon. So we have not set the host beacon yet. So we need to actually do that here. So we call create beacon. Let's make a change. Here we are. So after host beacon, that's when we set it. So we need to actually do it first. So I'm going to get rid of that set, link everything back up. That's all. Link it up to the output of host beacon. And under get host beacon, that's where we're going to set it. I'm going to set host beacon. Continue on. I'm going to break the link there for the sake of just cleaning this up. and then connect the host beacon to the output. So now we should be good to go. And we have no entries in the server. Oops. Here we are. Host game. Refresh. Custom server name, map1. And that is what we have by default. Yep. So now we are able to set our custom lobby info. And up next, we're going to have to set up a way to actually update it. But I think I'm going to set up max players first because that's just a very basic feature that we should already have anyways. So now that that's dealt with, I will see you in the next one.